Good evening, everyone. Now we're gonna see where Peter Bounting getting real upset about Dennis Chung and the position they wanted to give him. No, it's not fair. It's not fair, and every word he said is true. How is it? They want this man to be the head of FID, and he is so much working with Andrew and his foolishness. No, you see, corruption at its highest level. How could that be? Now, see, this thing is causing a stir in Jamaica here today because everybody is upset about it. Only people pleased with it is people on their side. It's not right. How could this man, like during the findings in the Integrity Commission, this man upholds with everything that Andrew does, and now they want to put him as the head. Now you can see they have so much hiding. But you realize every time those people come out, and every time the prime minister come out and do something and say something, he just mess up himself deeper and deeper. He's just sinking himself deeper and deeper. And he has his followers to support him. Well, they said the devil have them gang, and trust me, a truth. Now you're gonna hear what Peter Mountain saying in the end. I don't want to speak on these things because they will get me angry. I mean, no want say certain things, you know. Me just can't bother like me I trace them. But this is unfair before God and man. This man in the position that him no, it's a, it's somebody asking to resend it. Speak up in the mountain. I'm proud to see how you guys fighting for this country, man. This country, they make it gone to the dogs. Gone to the dogs, man. They want to put it at the lowest of the lowest. Come on. So people will see and hear what Peter Bountin saying. I'm going to show the clippings of what he said at the end of this. Thank you.
Shame trees don't grow at Belmont Road. The Integrity Commission referred Honus's questionable financial dealings to the Financial Investigation Division, the FID. That is the entity that investigates financial crimes such as money laundering. I want you to pay attention to me tonight, So what has happened since the Integrity Commission referred Andrew Honus to the Financial Investigation Division? Well, first, I shared with you when I came to the Allman Town Conference because we had to get it out of a U.S. report. There was nothing about it in Jamaica. That the Financial Investigation Division was being starved of human and financial resources. They had one third of the establishment of staff that they should have. Now, any entity which has only one where they should have three cannot function properly. What happened next? We hear Honus filed a lawsuit against the Integrity Commission, attempting to tie them up hand and foot so that these investigations couldn't proceed. And he even sought a declaration to declare the offense of illicit enrichment as unconstitutional. Now that is the offense that he is being investigated for. So he goes to the court to try and declare it unconstitutional. But comrades, if that wasn't bad and bad enough, just this afternoon, we learned that Dennis Chung, an apologist for the Jamaica Labour Party and Andrew Honus, that he has now been appointed the Chief Technical Director in charge at the Financial Investigation Division. What can go so? This man who is now in charge of the entity that is supposed to be investigating Andrew Holness, is a man who has publicly attacked the Integrity Commission report and publicly disagreed with its findings and publicly said that Andrew Holness has done nothing wrong. So why would a man that has already declared his bias in the public be appointed as the same agency, to head the same agency that is to do the investigation? His public comments demonstrate his clear bias. Andrew Holness' appointment of a man who has a conflict of interest and demonstrated public bias is a corrupt decision. And we all have to draw the conclusion that there is no intention to do any serious investigation at the FID. Comrade, shame trees don't grow at Belmont Road. Shame trees don't grow at Belmont Road. Comrades.
See Julian Robinson speaking out about this Dennis Chung thing and his job occupation, but the FID situation. Now, at the end of this, you're gonna see, you're gonna hear what Julian Robinson is saying about it, because a lot of people, a lot of them are speaking out against it, and trust me, I can't blame them. I just really can't blame, because make no sense. A man who put up a man who speak out already. He admit. He put up with everything that the other one doing. I know he want him to be the head. What a great corruption. Now you're gonna hear what Julian have to say after this. Thanks.
The history of individuals who have been charged to lead, certainly the FID, you'll see persons who have extensive backgrounds in either law enforcement, financial crimes, anti-money laundering, etc. This is the first time that an individual, while having general accounting and management experience, would be leading the FID without specific investigative experience. And the position is Chief Technical Director. And people might say, yes, there are persons within the organization who may have the technical expertise. But this position requires someone who has that specific expertise. And it is important for us to maintain the credibility of the country's the investigation of financial crimes. Putting Dennis Chung there, I believe, threatens that credibility which is not just local, but credibility which is international, because the FID is the main interface with other international organizations who cooperate with the country in investigating financial crimes. And so we see the appointment as a retrograde step, actually, and it has implications for how Jamaica would be perceived within the international community in relation to this particular matter. And so, as the opposition leader has said, the appointment should be rescinded. Mr. Chung should not accept it, because at best, the perception of bias is there, and the reality in this case, having already pronounced on a number of these issues, it is almost impossible for that reality of bias not to be seen there. And if the outcome of this investigation, which as the leader said is the most important that FID will ever undertake, absolves the Prime Minister of any wrongdoing, then it will just play into the hands of everybody who has said, you sent that person there for that particular outcome. So from our perspective as a party, beyond the individual, we see this as a threat to the institutional arrangements for the investigation of financial crimes. And it should be rescinded, and an individual who is appropriately qualified with the experience and who has no taint of political bias should be appointed to head the FID. If we look at the history of
Mr. Golden is very upset about Mr. Chung's situation being the head of this thing because, just like I've been saying before, he put up with Dennis Chung put up with the Prime Minister and agree like he's agree with everything. The intake is not is mixed up in so much other things. It's so much. It's so much. You understand me? So everybody now here just speaking out, including my comrade leader, is speaking out about the situation. They're not pleased about it. And each and every one of them want this man. This man have to rescind this thing. He cannot take that position, or else it's not going to be pretty in Jamaica. It's going to be hell to pay in Jamaica. You understand? But yeah, man, the Prime Minister know why he's choosing all these people, because he has so much hiding. So him believes that putting them in those positions, I go, like allow him to win and continue with this stupidness. No, 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 Pharaoh. No, no, no. No, Pharaoh. No, King Herod. It not going to work. It's not going to work. Anybody, it's not going to work. Everybody know the story about King Herod and his end. So people who is in position like you, unfair politicians, will behave. Only better be careful because trust me, go pretty if you decide if you keep on doing the wrong things and expect to get away. You understand me? Every day the bucket go well, one day the bottom will go drop out. Be careful. Thank you. So at the end of this, please like, share, and subscribe, everybody. Thank you. Bye.
The matter of the Integrity Commission report into the statutory declarations filed by the Prime Minister and their investigation of his affairs in relation to, in particular, the offence of illicit enrichment has been of grave national concern to Jamaicans at home and abroad. The Integrity Commission, after their extensive investigation, due to a lack of information forthcoming from the Prime Minister on critical elements of facts that were relevant to the matters that they were investigating, felt it necessary to refer the matter to the Financial Investigations Division and Tax Administration Jamaica for further investigation on different aspects of what had come out in their investigations. It is therefore of critical importance that the Financial Investigations Division, which has been without a Chief Technical Director for some time since the resignation and departure of Selwyn Hay, that it be led by somebody who is competent in the kind of issues that the FID is set up to deal with as an investigative agency, and also be not tainted in any manner with any kind of political cloud over it. Whoever the chief technical director of the FID is must be somebody who's not perceived as having any particular political affiliation or bias. And we feel strongly that the appointment of Dennis Chung is itself an act which will further corruption in the country, because he is somebody who has already publicly stated positions in relation to the matters that the FID ought to be investigating, which are strongly in favor of the Prime Minister and which seek to undermine or belittle the impact and importance of the findings that the Integrity Commission has made on the matters that they investigated as set out in the report that they sent to Parliament. He has commented on the 28 bank accounts operated by the Prime Minister and his companies, on the volume of funds that have flowed through those accounts over the period of their investigation in excess of $470 million, on the issue to do with the Positive Jamaica, a non-profit foundation that receives monies for worthy causes donated from local and overseas contributors. Those funds being used to purchase financial investments in the name of and for the benefit of Mr. Holness's personal companies. On each of these matters, he publicly sought to take a position that's led to the impression that there was nothing amiss, there's no case to answer, everything is above board. Even the nil returns filed by companies that had bank accounts with hundreds of millions of dollars passing through them, he said there was nothing peculiar about that. Nil tax returns. He clearly is a biased person on this matter. He clearly would have a conflict leading the FID to investigate this matter. And that is why we're saying he should resign that position if he's accepted it, or the appointment should be rescinded and revoked forthwith. It is too vital to Jamaica's democracy and the rule of law in our country that what will be the most important and significant investigation by the FID in its history should not be led by somebody who has taken a position on key issues that are the substance of that investigation, positions which are in favor of the Prime Minister, as opposed to positions which the FID ought to be investigating in a non-biased, non-partisan way, based on what the findings of the Integrity Commission were already on those matters. The matter of the...
Sir God, even Dayton have them. No, sir. Even Dr. Dayton Campbell whipping them and beating them and teaching them. Yes, man. The man never take the man. They can't allow, food to go because Jamaican people got suffer too much. This is Jamaica. And what I realize, them the people don't love Jamaicans, The people only love themselves and what they are about and what they are after. I love to see when these member of parliament, these comments coming out and speaking up and fighting for us. Trust me, they are fighting, Guys, they are fighting, they are really fighting hard for us. So let's support them in their fight. Just stop and watch and criticize. Let's support them in their fighting. Fighting, they're trying to fight corruption and they want Jamaica to be a better place for our children and grandchildren, ain't it? Right. Thank you.
The reports on the Integrity Commission came to public attention. And initially, we were told that persons are unaware of the individuals who are under investigation. At a press conference that was held at Jamaica House, when a journalist put the question to the Prime Minister as to whether or not he is aware as to why he has not been certified, he said he had no idea why, and he was anxious to be certified. When we eventually saw the report of the investigation into his affairs, we realized that at the time when he made that statement, it was not true, because prior to that, he was written to, and that they had a meeting with him at OPM and his lawyers, and explained to him that there is a possibility that he has assets that are out of keeping with his lawful income, what we term illicit enrichment. We saw where the Prime Minister took the matter to court, and he was asking he was trying to mandate the courts to sign off on his report. We saw where Mr. Chung came out and gave his opinion on the matter. It's free to have an opinion on the matter, but by any means, by the acceptable standard as to what the average person would think, an individual that has already come to a conclusion on the matter to be now placed in charge of the body to investigate the matter is highly inappropriate. And anyone who cannot see that as inappropriate, then that begs a lot of questions. The gentleman in question also created a firestorm in Jamaica a few months ago when he said that Usain Bolt money did not get to SSL. And it is the same FID that needs to look into the issues surrounding SSL. I, as a Jamaican and a well-thinking Jamaican, I am very concerned about the path that we are on as a country. I am a proud Jamaican, but I am ashamed of my government. I am ashamed of this JLP government because they are eroding what we have come to accept as Jamaica. They are destroying the institutions that give us a good, credible reputation internationally. Corruption is rampant. It is almost palpable in the society, and we will not accept it. The time has come. Enough is enough. The people of Jamaica need to be given an opportunity to decide if they want to continue with this level of corruption in high places, or if they want to return decency to Jamaica House. And as of such, we are giving this government 72 hours to rescind this appointment. And if they do not rescind it, there will be actions all over Jamaica. The report.
Master God. See now, when the students are questioning Dana Morris Dixon about Dennis Chung situation again. And now the government want them to rescind it in 72 hours or else. No. You guys will hear. You will hear the answers that they are giving to these, I will call them young journalists. You know, you will hear the answers what they are saying about this Dennis Chung situation. Yes, you guys gonna hear, and you know, and if you have conscience, just speak the truth in the comment, please. Thank you.
PNP has given the government, I believe, a 72-hour ultimatum to rescind the appointment of Dennis Chung and his appointment to the FID. My question is, what's the government's response to that call?
Would you, PM, I can take that too. All right. Just to note, and I got some questions from other members of the media in relation to that appointment. Every single senior appointment in government goes through a process. There is a process that we go through. The position is advertised. Individuals apply. There is a panel that's put together that shortlists candidates. And then there is an interview process that takes place. And there is scoring. The members of the committee score each of the persons. And then they make a selection. So there is a process that would have been followed. And from all the information I've been given, that process was followed. And so, we may have issues or not, and some people are celebrating the appointment, and some are not. But the reality is that as government, we have put in place particular systems, especially in the hiring of senior government officials, and those processes were followed. If you have something to say it was not, then tell us that. But the process, as far as what we have the information on, that process has been followed. And I'm answering you the way I answered that other reporter who spoke to me earlier today.
You see how much people upset over the position that they give to Dennis Chung, and there are so much other people who's upset about it, because it's just weird to see this man getting this position, the man who put up with, you stand up openly and speak certain things about it's like, where the IC thing and everything was just right for him. So you see a lot of people lashing out, and there's a lot more are gonna lash out. So boy, I mean, I don't know how they more fix this, but they can fix it by doing the right thing. Just do the right thing, because when you have this sort of government that's going on with all sort of corruption and things, and then people who uphold with it so so brightly, and not see nothing wrong with it, and now you're gonna put these same people to be the head of that. It plain straight that show the world said Jamaica had gone to the dogs. It's like no morals, no nothing. It's like care. It just, boy, it's just sad. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. It's very, very, very sad. So now you see, when you hear listen to all of these, and these are just the tip of the iceberg. The amount of people were upset over this situation. You can't even blame them. So you guys, so thank you for listening and thank you for sharing. So please like, share and subscribe, everyone. Thank you. God bless and have a next day.